Welcome to the Grand Design Series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 16th of April 1979. The game's on pause for a reason which I'll explain in a little while. Now, the problem I've got developed now is, as you can see here, I've got a lot of construction to do in this area. Also, we've still got to finish off this area here with respect to putting in more and more accommodation so that we've got more and more workforce here in the large train station. Just let the game run actually so that a few people can get in, because we still got to finish off this area here, although this one is nearly finished. And to be honest, some of these buildings can wait a little bit longer because we do have some steel production in here, but of course we don't have much of a workforce. But more importantly, now we are producing some mechanical components which are being transferred into here. And so far all I've done is I've put my helicopter construction offices on here so that we can they can pick up the mechanical components for construction. But at the moment we've only got a fairly limited amount of coal coming in, and of course then over here we've got our new town, which is by far the most important area that I need to focus on. You can see we're actually bringing the buildings together, but more importantly, we need the rail connection to get supplies in here. You can see this area is being built up, and probably so. What I want to do over the next couple of parts is give the construction offices a chance to catch up on this massive backlog of work. And so for that reason, I want to switch my attention to doing, you could probably say, some quality of life improvements for our various areas. Like, for example, I wouldn't mind getting water into here, simply because if we got water into this area, you can see these people are complaining they've got no. We've also got a sewage overflow here, which is a bit of a cause for concern. If we can get more full water into here, this will actually improve the efficiency. Also, as I say, I do need to focus up a lot more because waste disposal is becoming a really big issue. Now, now, as stated in the title, what I want to do is a matter of priority, is deal with another potentially growing issue, which is disposing of excess bitumen. And if I come to, which one is it here, you can see that at the moment we've got bitumen building up. Now, this is a problem that will develop as your economy grows, simply because if we click on here, you'll see that, well, for the fuel which we definitely need to keep our economy going, and we also get 75 tons of bitumen. Now, the problem with bitumen is that it's only really used to make asphalt. There's not much else that you can use it for, unless, of course, you use certain mods. There are some mods that will make some use of bitumen. So what that means is eventually, if you've got a really efficiently running oil refinery, which this isn't, because I've still got, you can still see I've got no surplus here, that what will happen is that you're going to have to dispose of the bitumen, which I'm already doing using a train to export to the border. Now, one tip I will give you from the get-go is don't try and do it with trucks, because as you can see here, if you've got a fully functional oil refinery, you're going to have to shift 75 tons of bitumen a day. And bearing in mind that, as I say, your construction offices will use some of it but not all of it, so you're going to end up with a fleet of trucks trying to run to a border customs post, and then that will clog up. And I've got a similar problem with the train, because you can see here I've got a bitumen train coming in. Now, this train will pick up and literally 480 tons of bitumen, which will come. You can see it's going down here. The trouble is, this train is going to was it customs shed 2? Where's that? It is going to here. Now, the problem with although the distance is short, every time the train comes in here, it's clogging this up for other rail export. And to be honest, in the long term, I'd rather use this customs shed to export some of the more high value items, such as electronic components and whatever, which eventually I might get in the future. Another option that you can get is to ship all the bitumen to a port And if you've got a port nearby, that's quite useful, and then you can ship it out by ship. But the trouble is, you will always get to a point where you're going to have too much bitumen, and then you've got to try and get rid of it in other ways. Now there are mods where you can burn it off, but the trouble with that is you're actually going to be losing money. So the actual ideal solution, and you can work this with a train as well. It's not going to use the solution that I'm going to be using, which is a direct pipeline, and that's what's called a foreign port export thing here. It says here foreign pipeline connection. Now these are like the foreign power connections. These are a tech. If we come to where's our tech guy? If we come to research, what you will see is down here, and what you get is you've actually got power grids to Western countries. You also get pipeline connections to foreign countries as well. Now this is actually a one-time building, and by that what I mean is that if I come back down to pipelines here, it says foreign pipeline connection. Now what this does is once you place it, it's used, and then if you want to build another one, you've actually got to research it again. So it's not like you do the research, then it's the option is available going. Now I've already done the research, and what I want to do is put pipeline connection in. So if we come down here, and of course the problem I've got is the only way I can bring the pipeline through to the western. Ignore the stars, they're the wrong way round. And what I'm going to do is put the foreign pipeline connection in. And you can see here it says it says here you can export 1 ton of oil, 1 ton of fuel, 1 ton of bitumen, 1 ton of liquid fertilizer. But this, ignore that completely, because that's almost instantaneous. Now one thing I will say about this pipeline connection is if you put it down and then delete it, you will lose it. Then you've got to research it again. Now we are going to put the pipeline connector in there, and I'm going to of course put a asphalt road connection to it there. So that's where I'm going to export it. Now what I'm going to do is connect up the output from the oil refinery from probably this pump here to that pipeline there. Now there are a number of subtle issues that you need to understand about connecting up a pipeline, and for that reason what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to quit out of this save game and load another save game, because to make sense of what I'm going to be doing connecting these two up, you really need to understand how you connecting to a foreign pipeline connection works. Then what I'm going to do is quit back to the menu and then load in another game so I can talk about some of the issues around using foreign pipeline connections. So I'll see you once I've actually got into the game. So welcome back. Here we are in this save game. If you're interested in what save game this is the final save game from my series for new players. And what we got here is we got an oil refinery here, which has got missing oil, but that's no problem anyway. And then what we've got is a connection to a foreign connection here. And probably one of the first things you probably want to be aware of is that if I bring in the overlay, what you'll see is that a foreign connection doesn't actually need a power supply. So that's the first thing you want to do. And then if I show you the actual setup for the power thing, and this is important when you do it. Now, if you look here, this is set to export, and you can see that you cannot select whether it's fuel or whatever. What basically, what this will do is export anything that comes down this pipeline, whether it's oil, fuel, bitumen, even liquid fertilizer. But if you import, then you can actually specify. But you also notice here that you can't import liquid fertilizer. You can only import oil, bitumen and fuel. But when you're exporting, you've got no control. Whatever comes down this pipeline that gets exported, and that is very important. Say for example, I don't know if I've got any pipe connections here now. Say for example, you take a pipe, say directly from the oil refinery, come down here, Now, one thing you will need to be aware of is that this only has a single output connection and a single input connection. If you take a pipeline directly from the oil refinery and connect it to there, which we can't do because this one's already connected, what will happen is that this will export both a proportion of the bitumen and fuel that is actually produced in this area, because this is the I kind of cancel that. So we, oops, just delete that. Again, if I come here, see, this is an output. So if you do a direct connection, what will happen is or any oil or bitumen that's manufactured by this refinery, if we just let the game run, a proportion will always be exported to the border. Now, of course, when you're developing a large economy, the element that you want to really use is fuel, because fuel can become quite a big issue, especially if you're using diesel trains and lots of aircrafts and helicopters. So what you've got to do first is actually control what is actually being exported. For that reason, well, let's work backwards. First thing is you cannot connect a oil tank or even the refinery directly to that. You're going to need some kind of pump in between, because this is a passive connection. So if you're exporting, you need a pump, and if you're importing, you need a pump. This will not work by being connecting it directly to an oil tank. Say, for example, this is a long way away from the oil refinery. What you've got to do is run a train in to deliver to an oil tank, so you'd need an unloading station, which would then go into the oil tank, and which would then go through a pump. Although technically you don't need an oil tank. Although, to be honest, if you don't put an oil tank in, you may confuse the distribution office. And then what you do is you connect to the pump, and then what will happen is the oil will whiz out here. Now, the speed of this is pretty phenomenal. That is the minimalist solutions. And what I'm getting at is the fact that most of the time you will need a tank. And the reason for that is that even if you've got a direct connection, say, for example, you do this, right? What this will do is, because this is set to take bitumen, what that will mean is that the only bitumen will come down this line to this tank. So this is probably an ideal way to do it, as long as you've got enough connections. Now, what I've got set up here, if I come here, is I've got an underground pipe coming from a pump. So what we got here is a situation where this output tank, which is the export tank, one thing you will notice is that this tank will never fill up. That's another thing that you need to be aware of. So don't panic if you've got. Don't panic if you are exporting bitumen or fuel or anything, if that doesn't do it. The only way you can really keep track. Now, of course, this isn't a very efficient system. So what if I probably do an export? You'll see that I'm exporting very small amounts, but then I'm not producing very much in this. So moving up now to here, we've now got a liquid pump. And what's happening here is the output from here is being shared based on a priority sit, which means that the bitumen that's coming into here and is being split by this pump. Some is going into this large tank for what you want to use, and some of the overflow is then being sent to this tank, which is being immediately exported. Now, this works if you've got a fairly high level of production coming out of here. I mean, this is not particularly working that well. You can see the export there. So if I kind of come across to here, you'll see that probably at the moment, virtually most of what's going out now is coming into here. This is where this prioritization system comes in. Now, this can be a little bit confusing. So if I kind of come in here, one of the problems you will have with the prioritization system is the fact that how do you know which one of these outputs is going where? Of course, the input is pretty obvious, which is this one coming in here. But how do you find out which output to prioritize? And the way you do it is that you can put it over here, which will show you, and you can see that the pipelines get highlighted, but it also works this way. So for example, this is set to output on high, which is that one there. And then the one that's going to the border is on medium. So if I drop this down to low, so this is a way that you can keep this tank full, because what will happen is you will have virtually no exports while this tank is filling up, because this is the priority source. So for example, and the reason I'm talking about this is that this is the model that I'm going to be using in my other save game. That I want to have a reserve of bitumen here, but at the same time I want the overflow to go to the border, if that makes sense. So hopefully that's covered everything to do. And as I say, I want to. The reason I'm doing this is that when I'm talking about the setup that I want to in the server save game, it will make sense of why I'm making these decisions. So that out of the way, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to load back to the other save game. So here we are, we're back in the save game. I've got this pipe here. So what we're going to do is go up to the oil refinery. Now up here, the setup is a little bit more complicated, because I've got not that one, this one. We've got this oil refiner, this here, which is technically supplying the bitumen to over here, or the asphalt plant here. And what we got here is a tank. So the first thing we got to do is come off. I'm going to come off this pump, and I'm going to put in a tank like this, so that I can make sure that the only thing that comes out of here, because even though this is connected to this, and this only expects bitumen, but because this pump is connected directly to this oil refinery, I'm just going to keep the game on pause actually for the moment. That this pipeline here, the one that runs between the oil refinery and this pump, if you connected a direct connection to the border, this pipeline will still take fuel, and it's a trap you can fall into whenever you create a web of pipelines. So be aware that what you've got here is a dual purpose pipe. It will carry both bitumen and fuel, despite the fact that the tank is there. And this is something, so the first thing we got to do is put in first thing we got to do is find out the range of we're going to go underground. You see it's a bit, we've already used 2 connections. Let's go down. What I'm doing at the moment is seeing how far I can get. So what we're looking at is putting the tank somewhere around here. It could be a bit tricky. Got lots and lots of cables and stuff here. Can I squish it on that corner? I think what we may have to do is compromise a little bit here. This might be, now I mean technically we don't have to put the pipe there. We could put it, actually what I'm going to do is we're going to we can get a pipe connection in here. Because it doesn't have to be the first connection, as long as there's a tank somewhere along the pipeline. So what we can do is hook you up there. So what we got is a pipeline out of there that will come to here, and then okay, we can get to about there. Let's see if we can put. Okay, we can put this oil storage in here. I'm going to get, whoops, go underground again. Okay, we're going to have to bring that back a bit. Oh, great. Sometimes the game can be a little bit temperamental in the area of roads. Just make sure that's connected. Yeah. Now, what I'm going to do is make this high priority, and we're going to get the helicopter crews on it. The reason I'm making this high priority is that I want this built before any other pipelines are built. The reason for that is that if this is made and this pipeline is open, there's a possibility that the oil refinery just will send fuel to it, not bitumen. I want to make sure that this is specified as bitumen. Right, so the next point of call we need to do is we're going to come here, underground pipe again, too long, so we're kind of going to need the next pump somewhere about here. It's going to be a long, kind of winded. I think we'll just build gravel, and then we'll hook this pipe into here. Like that. Now the next step is okay. This one's too long. I was hoping to. So how long was that? So can we come out this way? Might give us. Yeah. So this one may need a power substation. Yeah. So that's there. Now the next bit is I've got to get through here. Now I do have an option, and this is an option that I may want to put in, but I don't want to build it now, is that we could run a pipeline from here all the way over to here. So that we don't need to use trucks. But the problem thing is that, as I've already previously mentioned, is that this will eventually become fairly redundant once we've actually, how can you put it, once we've built all the roads around here. Asphalt, I mean, asphalt can be used for some repairs, also rebuilding projects if you have a major fire or an earthquake or something like that. Actually, I'm just spotted something that I've been meaning to do for a little while. Can I remove you? Yeah, good. I'm gonna do it. I have been slowly filling in these areas here with to get this all connected up and asphalted so that my trucks can move a bit faster. So I wanted to have an option to run a pipeline there. So what I'm going to do, hopefully we've got that pipeline there. I'm not sure. See if we can get the pipeline underground. This one we may need to put a wind turbine out here for a power supply. I'm going to run you down here. Oh wow, okay, too long. It's going to be a very, very tight bit here. It's not going to get around this corner anyway. I'm going to move that road back a bit. Like that. Because of course, as I previously mentioned, I can't delete this. because I've already placed it. Well, I can delete it, but I would have to. If I put you about there, this. That gives me the pipe connection to there. That gives us a connection to the border. And that does give the extra added bonus of the fact that if I do ever decide to run Bitumen, thank you game, can't say. Yeah, I'm noticing that the save game's taking longer and longer. I can run the pipeline to there, but at the moment I'm not particularly that interested in that. What I am interested in is that connection there. What this means is that once this is all been built and set up, I mean, it doesn't. At the moment, I'm dealing with the surplus bitumen with the train, so it's not. This is not a high priority project, but this is going to be the long-term solution, because when this is up and running, what it will mean is that this will always be. This will always get rid of the surplus bitumen and also make a profit. But you can see it's I've got quite a spider web of pipelines under here now. And of course I've got a massive spider web going out this way. So this is a way that you can basically, especially if you've got an oil refinery like this that's going to get more and more busier over time, this is a way that you can put in a permanent solution for getting rid of surplus. You can do it for surplus fuel as well. Going forward, I won't have to worry too much about bitumen. In fact, this one will become fairly redundant eventually, but I want to keep it simply because there's a possibility that I may want to ship bitumen to other parts of the map, because technically, really, that when you're planning your economy, you really only need one source of bitumen, and then it just becomes a matter of just trying to ship it around the map. So that is how you can actually solve your excess bitumen problem. I just want to see, yeah, we are getting more and more workers in here. I am slowly increasing the number of workers here with respect to the train. See, at the moment, actually, maybe I can do it. I think I've got some, yeah, I've got a couple of surplus trains here. What I'm doing here is I want to put an extra train on, but at the same time the actual route is still set to only pick up 50% of the passengers, because what I need to do is get a more frequent service running, and then what I'm going to do is increase the percentage as the workforce grows into this area here. I think this place has just been populated, and you can see we are now going up to about 69,000 at the moment population. I've put another heat exchanger in here as well, because the other one that we built is already possibly going to get excess, and as we put in more and more of these buildings, it's going to get very, very closer. Right, now the next thing I want to do in this video, train waiting too long, I want to guess who it's at the border. Nope. Okay, what have we got going on here? We got a train here. Okay, you need to go. I'll be really glad when all the, actually we'll check the track out. Just go there, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really glad once we finish the track over here. Okay, how many jobs have you got? We've got plenty of jobs. Yeah. And once this area has been finished, we should not have to worry about that jam, because we can send the trains out the other way. The other main project we've got is coming out this way. I think I've got a single line connection, but we will need to electrify it. And of course, the other big project that I'm going to need to do, if I can find it, just to show you, this is a kind of a long-term project I've been working on for some time. That is making a connection between the bottom and the top of the map. You can see wow, these guys are getting out here. Okay, looks like that one's stopped. Oh, what was that? Flash up. Traffic jam. Ah, it's just a repair. Anyway, just get back to up here. We'll go the opposite way. You can see that the line is nearly got to the edge, but at the moment what I've got is all my rail construction trains working on those key infrastructure. But what I want to do is make a connection with up here, simply because this is going to be my what we call it, simply because this is going to be, we're going to use the oil here to make chemicals, electronics and electro components, because I don't, the distance is too far to ship the oil down to the oil refinery. So we're going to use the oil here in this area to make electronics and electro components, which means this line here is going to be quite important. Although I may use helicopters or something to move the smaller electronics, but I need to think about that. So this line is going to become more and more important as time goes on. Although we're, but you can see at the same time, we're going to need to make sure this stays a high-speed train line. We can't put too many connections on it. But back to what I was showing you, we are building in this area, which is going to make the cross connection here. And hopefully what that will do is take pressure off of the rail link that runs through here. Just while we're here, just want to, yeah, with the mixed waste here is going okay. But the main area I want to work on now is up here, because the next thing we're going to need to do is dispose of the what we call it, because we got our incinerators here. We got space going this way, which is a little bit of a kind of open enclave. I think we got power lines through here, so we got an incinerator here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to plan it with mud roads, because I don't want here, because what we're going to need is we're going to need a power substation here. So, and what I want to do here to try and make my waste disposal a little bit more efficient is probably put it here. I'm going to go 1, 2, get rid of you, actually doing this the wrong way around. One, two, where's the waste? What is that saying? There's the infrastructure in the way. Oh, there's a power cable there. That's okay. So we can get one the other side. No. Okay. Well, we don't have to be super precise. And we're going to put a whole series along here. As I say, at the moment, I don't want the... Actually, we could build this in. Actually, come to think of it. We'll build this in, but we'll not connect this up. Take that out. We can get a road. Okay. Is there a little bit of road here? Let me just see. And then the idea is going to be is we're going to have a whole series of these claw machines here. We could probably put in some small dumps here. And what I'm hoping is that by using the powered claw dumps, the decomposition of the ash is going to be a little bit more further. And then what we're probably going to do is duplicate that over here as well eventually. But I just want to put this in just to show you. Because if we're going to get these 2 incinerators running at full blast, that is we're going to need to get rid of a lot of waste. And just to kind of, for anyone who's not sure what I'm talking about, if I come down here and get rid of that, Now this is a large incinerator, and it goes virtually at max capacity all the time. It's always working. And you can see here, although it needs more workforce into here, we've got to, I think I might try and push the workforce up a little bit more. But what you will see is that I've already got massive amounts of ash here, so we've got tons of ash here. I'm kind of thinking, where have we got let me just see if I got, that's not the bus station. The bus station is here. I think what I'm going to do here is, I think I'm going to put some direct workforce into the incinerator just to see if we can get some more capacity out of it. I'm looking for, the map's getting so big I'm finding it hard to keep track of what we're going. I want buses. I want buses, mini buses with a certain amount of capacity. Actually, I'm going to do a special import from the west because I like these Mars buses, but the trouble is they're not particularly that fast. They do carry 25 passengers though. Okay, maybe the local version will be a bit better. Let's just short search by capacity. Buses, please. We've got 110, it carries 6 passengers. 97 passengers, like microbus, 7 passengers. Got 11 passengers. I'm gonna get, I think we'll go with this then. This okay, we'll get a couple of these microbuses. We'll just let them come in. So yeah, the road crews are picking these up. Helicopter crews. I don't want helicopter crews on these. Okay. What we will do is, what are you guys picking up? Okay, we got them working on the road connection. I didn't check the road connection here. This can go in there. Yeah, because these guys don't really have that much to do. So you need a road connection. You'll always build a panel road. I haven't built a panel road yet. We'll just make these connections. This has already been built. This has been built. Good. That solves the problem. So we can now turn. See, what I want is, I don't really want the helicopters doing the building. But what we can do is get. Why is that being repaired? Wow, I never knew oil tanks needed to be repaired. That's new. I thought it's one of oil tank. I suppose it makes sense. I've just never ever considered it. I've got to be a bit careful with my repair. Guys, we'll get you there. We could probably use one of these to work on this and this, and we got, yeah, I was hoping to build this pipeline in the background, but obviously the game has decided otherwise. So why have I got citizens too low? I thought I saw that flash up before. What's going on up here? Right, we got a food shortage here. I think these guys, okay, you're out of range. Okay, haha. Okay, is there any way I can improve the link? I suppose what I could do here is eventually we're going to grow this town out, because obviously we're going to need to get our things. So probably the best way to do this is actually put another store in here. So if we put another, put the V2 version in, put that round like that. Of course we will need a small warehouse. So what type of size warehouse we got over here? This is the, talks about 24 tons. So if we put in, it's this one, I'll put you in there. Just tilt you like that. I'll get the guys working on this and this. Yeah, sorry guys, you're just, I don't think we've got any other spare capacity where I can move you to. Let me just see. I don't think you're in, well, you're in range of the store. So let me just see. What we can do is move some of you to there and there. How about this one? No. I could put another house in somewhere. Maybe over here. Because I could put a modern block in here. And then about here that's the athletics league. Yeah, we got enough people in there. How about these? No. Is there any way I can improve the connection here? Say, for example, I put that through there. Does that improve your spread? It does, actually, yep. So if I put the road crew on here, I mean, at the end of the day, we lose a small amount of population. There's not much I can do about it. But we'll get that built, and then hopefully that will bring that into there. We're still going to need the store anyway. How about you? No. You're not going to get a connection. You might get one in the long term. Don't think this one is very well connected. We just yeah, I think let me just remove you. You can come to there. We'll build that. I'll put the road crew on as well. It's road crew. I do need to start putting, oh, they're connected anyway. You might, yeah, you have the connection now once that's built. So we can expand out this way. Right, so let's just get back to over here. And how well is my train crew working? Let me just go and find the rail guys here. Okay, you're still down to 3. Where are you working? you're working out that way, and you're working there. I think what I'm going to need to do is bring in the guys from over here in Stilton. Yeah, I need this rail connection to the waste. This has to be the priority. Because I need this connected in ASAP so that we can manage the waste. And so we're building all this in. Okay, this is a bit of an issue. Got trucks here. Let's put. I think what's happened now is that they're fixating on my what we call it, on my pipeline. Although, to be honest, setting the pipeline up would be quite nice. I don't know whether this is still a bit of an experiment, actually. I say this is priorities. That's priority 1. That's the... So you're low at the moment. You're going to be medium. You've got to be high. And output 2, which is the one going out here. Because, I mean, to be honest, neither of these are crucial. Simply down to the fact that the only place where the bitumen's, well, 2 places the bitumen's going is one for export and one for over here. Maybe I should connect the pipeline up. Okay. How are you doing? Why are you out? This is the road crew. How are we doing here? The workforce is building up. I just want to make sure my nuclear power station, this has to be the paramount building here. Anyway, by now the buses should be ready to set a bus route up with. Where's the... I mean, I've got spare workforce here, so we're going to load workers. You're going to actually drop off at the incinerator, put a direct workforce in, and you're going to, where is it? Here. And get here, and hopefully what that will do is get more workforce into here, which means we can process more waste, because at the moment we've got a maximum of 58 tons per day, but as you can see, that 58 tons is not, we need to get this up to a higher capacity. You can see it's nearly at full capacity now. But I think I need to just try and shove that a little bit further. Unless... actually... Maybe I'm sending them to the wrong place. Okay, I think I might have messed this up a bit. The limitation is the separation plant. Got a chav. I think, where is the chav? How many passengers have you got? You've got 22 workers on it. I think what we're going to do... no. Okay, I've just messed this route up. Where are you picking up from? 3. You're going to load. Probably doing more damage than good at the moment. Yeah, it's the separation plant that's the limiting factor. We need to get more workers into here. So, yeah, this is running out. I can't remember. I thought the separation plant, let me just check something. Separation plant can do 50 tons per day at 50 workers. And the large incinerator can do 58 tons. Yeah, so we need a maximum workforce, keep a maximum workforce into here, so that we can, by keeping a maximum workforce into here, because there's no point putting a separate separation plant. Yeah, we need the maximum workforce in here to keep this going at a higher capacity. And what that would mean is that we'll be getting rid of 50 tons a day here. Now, obviously, I've got to check my waste dumps, but that's not particularly exciting. And I'm also running out of time. So what I want to do is, to finish this part off, is I want to just do my usual checks, because I didn't actually do them. We're just going to take a look at entire map wear and tear. So we don't have any buildings that are approaching collapse. Entire map. We've got a dump truck that's at 72%. Oh, they're already in the scrapyard, so that's good. So so we got no vehicles that are close to there. Wow, we're actually scrapping cranes and fire trucks and things like that now. Wow. Let's have a look at the, I think that's a covered. I need to check, because I got a feeling, because I'm not manufacturing vehicles at the moment. So if we go to covered holes, this is where you've got to be a, yeah, we still got some surplus ones from here, which I'm using up. I think they're in here. We got these ones here, so we've still got a couple of in here. We've got some, this is mainly covered huts and ambulances. Got some garbage trucks in here, some concrete mixers as well. I thought I'd change the concrete mixers. Let me just see. No, we've still got 4 left on there, but eventually we will need to replace those. Check by I don't think I'm going to use this guy, so he can go to the scrapyard as well. Yeah, he can go for scrap as well. Because if I buy another rail construction train, it will be, we'll replace it with something else. Okay. Right, so just to finish off, just gonna have a quick look through. It's the open holes, which are, we got some old. Okay, we got this guy here. I think your lifetime is finished. What are you? Yeah, you only do 60, so you can go. This is all part of a general policy of kind of getting more up to date. We could just capacity. We'll put one of these in, although technically we don't really need. We'll put one in just as part of standardization, and then that just leaves one more. Where are you? Over here. So you're in this repair shed here. Are you? Yeah. No, this is a road crew. Oh, you're the guy who carries the road crew. I still like to keep the road crew there because I'm still trying to fix a few bits and pieces, but we'll get rid of you. And then we'll just get an open hole. Let's get a nice big capacity one. 75. I mean, 13 tons. 70. I think that one will do. What that does now is it just removes another one from here. So we're still got 2 pages of vehicles. This one isn't quite so bad. I mean, these are logging trucks, I think. You can see it's got a logger on it. What are you? You've got 45. What are we still using these, are we? Okay. I thought I got rid of... So look in here. Okay. Put you over there behind that. You can go. As I say, this is simply down to trying to make sure that these it was an open hole, wasn't it? Capacity. I mean, to be honest, the maintenance building is not really it's 75. Let's just have a quick look. You're 75. You're 80. See, most of these vehicles aren't too bad now. It's just that I think the rest can wait. Refrigeration. Yeah, I think we're okay here. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is play on for a couple of months. Then we're going to pick that up in the next part. And in the next part, we're probably going to focus a little bit on the northern part here. We're starting to plan another oil field. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.